folks, today's video is a wrap up of Inktober, which is over. I can't believe it. In some ways it seems like it's gone very, very quickly, and in other ways the beginning of October, before all of these pieces of artwork were in my life, seems like quite a long time ago. But today I thought I would show you what I've done, and because all of these are going to be on sale on my website, the originals are going to be on sale first, and I am going to be making stickers from these as well. That's the plan. But if you're interested in buying any of the originals, they will be going out 8 AM New Zealand time, and I think that equates to about 7 PM in the UK and mid-afternoon in most of the States. If that makes sense. So I thought I would share with you what I've done and maybe talk a little bit about a few of them, because I've got a few favourites in here as well. So the first one I did was Bilbo Baggins, which is quite simple. It's not my favourite, but you know, it conveys the message. Oh, and if you want to know more about these in general, and why I'm doing these book plates, then that's in another video, which I will link in the cards and down below. But it might make more sense if you're confused to watch that before watching this video, just because it gives a bit of context to it. We've got Mrs. Coulter from His Dark Materials, who is one of the most fascinating characters that I've ever read, I think. And yeah, I wanted to kind of bring that across in her book plate as well. So her demon, her kind of animal other half, is a golden monkey, so that's why that's there. And all of these, as you'll see, are in gold ink and black ink. Then we've got Marjorie Tyrell from A Song of Ice and Fire, who's one of my favourite characters from the series. The Little Mermaid from Hans Christian Andersen, and I really want to do more stuff in this kind of style and in that circular composition, because I really like that. And then we've got Luna Lovegood from Harry Potter, again quite a simple one. And Alice in Wonderland, which is quite simple, but if you look a bit closer, you'll see that the spots on the mushrooms are actually the symbols from playing cards. The only comic book character in here, I think, Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, who is an amateur photographer. And then I had a lot of fun with this one. This is Daenerys Targaryen from Song of Ice and Fire again, and yeah, a lot of fun because there's a lot of gold in this. But then at the end I took a match and singed the edges, which was a lot of fun, and the whole house smelled like, well, burning toast. Turns out that's what this paper smells like when you burn it. Then there's Catherine Earnshaw from Wuthering Heights, another sort of love it or hate it book. But yeah, this was a lot of fun to do as well. A lot of detail in there, but I'm really pleased with how it turned out. And this one's a bit simpler. Great Gatsby, Jay Gatsby from The Great Gatsby. Yeah, a lot of gold. Quite simple, but again, pleased with how that turned out. There's Gilderoy Lockhart, and some of you might recognise this monogram from my Harry Potter textbook series back in July. It's the same thing with a different border around the outside. Then there's my favourite character from Harry Potter, who is Remus Lupin, and we first meet him on a train, so I wanted to have a luggage tag for this, and that's how we're first introduced to him as well, is his name on a piece of luggage that Hermione reads. And this is the date that he would have been on the Hogwarts Express with Harry, Ron and Hermione and the Dementors. This one, I'm not quite so pleased with how Snow Leopard turned out in this one, but it was a bit of an experiment. I really liked the lettering and the composition. This is Lord Asriel, again from His Dark Materials. Another simple one. This is Matilda from Roald Dahl's Matilda. Yeah, nice and straightforward. A stack of books and a cup of hot chocolate. And then there's Mrs. Dalloway from Mrs. Dalloway. So I've got her full name, Clarissa. And just flowers around the outside, because flowers are an important symbol in the book. And I think this worked really well, just doing a sort of almost halo effect around her head in the gold. And there's a slightly more obscure one, but this is one of my favourite books, probably my favourite book of all time, which is from Name of the Wind. This is Quoth, and we've got a sort of crest for Peter Pan. I wanted to sort of imagine what Peter Pan's crest might look like if he were maybe running a boarding school or something. I don't know. That's what I was sort of playing around with here, and some different symbols from the book. Then we've got Jane Eyre, which is my first attempt at this kind of black lettering, and I'm pretty pleased with how this turned out as well. Again, liking the gold. Lyra Silvertongue, from his Dark Materials, into that sense of sort of moving out into the unknown, into the blackness on a ship. Mary Poppins, practically perfect in every way. This one took me ages. This is Mary Lennox from The Secret Garden, and my goodness was I regretting doing these leaves so jolly small. It took me ages and ages. And the effect is quite nice, but I think it could have just been just as nice with the leaves, just a little bit bigger. But anyway, the next one didn't take me any less time. This is Dorian Gray, and this is one of my absolute favourite ones. It took me such a long time, but I'm so pleased that I put in the time to get more details in there. And likewise with Ophelia, I put a lot of time and effort into all the details of this one here. A bit unusual compositionally, which I really like, with the black on the outside. I think the ones that have black backgrounds I especially like. So I also especially like the Severus Snape one, and Snape is not one of my favourite characters at all. In fact, I have a lot of issues with him, but I do think he's very interesting, and I wanted to kind of convey that interestingness in this. The Phantom of the Opera, again quite a bit of detail, but not quite as much as some of those other ones. Then there's Sherlock Holmes, where the gold is just on the magnifying glass. Another one that took me forever. This is Estella Havisham from Great Expectations by Charles Dickens, and you can see why this took me forever, because I had to draw all of that lace, and I wasn't just drawing the lace, I was drawing the space around the lace, so it was all in negative and backwards. And yeah, it took a long time. This one doesn't take quite so long, but I like the simple composition of this one. It's Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Likewise with Katniss Everdeen, quite simple, but I wanted to take the description from the books of the Mockingjay pin and design it from that, rather than looking at what already existed for the films. And speaking of films, this one's from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and I just wanted to have some cute animals coming out of a suitcase. So you can see there's a Niffler and Pickett and a mooncalf and an Occamy. And finally, the last day was Halloween, so I thought I'd better do something a little bit scarier. And this is also from Harry Potter. And we've got Bellatrix Lestrange with snakes and sort of flame-like shapes, and then some bones down the bottom, because, I mean, her family, her legacy is kind of built on death and destruction. So that's what I was going for on that. And on that cheerful note, that's the whole lot. I did do a couple of other pieces along the way, and that's these four here actually, which will also be available on my website. I'm not sure if I'm going to sell the originals of these yet, because I'm very attached to them, especially the badger, because it's so cute. But I do plan to make these into book plates that are easy to personalise. So, or you can personalise them yourself, because I've left boxes. So there and there. So there's a space in each of them to write your own name. So those should be going up on my website hopefully next week, but I do need to get them sort of formatted and printed. Do let me know down in the comments which is your favourite. I have difficulty choosing my favourite one, but it's probably a toss-up between... I really like the Quoth one because I love Name of the Wind, and Dorian Gray because it took me such a long time and it turned out right, and also Remus Lupin because, you know, he's my favourite. I am doing a Q&A video hopefully next week. I did announce that I was going to do one a little while back, and then it got pushed back because of other content, but I am going to be doing it hopefully next week. So if you want to leave any questions, design related, books related, down in the comments, that would be fantastic. I'll leave a link to my website where all of these will be listed, the originals, and then probably stickers and maybe postcards if there's demand for it. But yeah, all be going up soon. So yeah, stay tuned. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.